And speed.
GeoGearHeads.
Hey guys, Daryl W4 down here in Rome, Georgia for Going Caching 2017. This is an amazing event, and we're helping to keep the world safe from Dr. Muggle and Wrench. Check it out. You'll enjoy it, I'm sure. But making some great connections with our listeners, and a number of the guests are here as well. So really, really good time. Sorry to miss the show tonight. I left the keys under the mat. Hopefully you guys can take care of the show and really do it justice, not create a car wreck or anything. Good show, guys.
Well, thank you, Comrade Daryl, for letting us take over your podcast. Hello. You have found caching. I mean, you have found GeoGearHeads. Yes.
Isn't this caching in the Northwest?
I thought it was.
Caching in the Northwest.
Well, that's why we're here.
Yay!
Hey! Hello, listeners and viewers.
Hello, all. If you didn't know, I am Chris of the Northwest, along with our illustrious co-hosts, Wits End.
Yay, that's me. Wits End. Hello.
And Land Monkey.
Yeah, we are taking over this podcast. Daryl, you said you didn't want to wreck, and too late.
Oh, too late.
Anyways, this is.
If you didn't know, we are actually the hosts of Caching in the Northwest, another podcast that comes on Thursday nights right after GeoGearHeads. Well, somewhat after. We focus mainly on Northwest topics, thus the name Caching in the Northwest. However, tonight, this really is GeoGearHeads. GeoGearHeads is a weekly podcast where we talk about geocaching and geolocation games that's fun for everyone. And aren't we family friendly tonight?
We are.
Of course.
So
how very nice.
Do we? Well, we have some topics, but perhaps before we get into those topics, do we want to see if we can replace ourselves with other hosts?
Oh, I think that would be most appropriate.
Okay. My knees are getting sore.
What did you do?
Hi.
Hey, had to deal with that monkey.
Good
All
luck.
downhill from here.
Okay, sorry guys, we had to have a little bit of fun as we are forcefully taking over this podcast. As you heard, Daryl is in Rome, Georgia at Going Caching. I've seen some of the photos from that, and it looks absolutely spectacular. The theme this year is spy-based. So, think of like the Mad Magazine Spy versus Spy, some Get Smart, that type of theme. And they're attempting to thwart the plans of Dr. Muggle.
Very cool.
He has a laser beam.
Did it cost $1 million?
Yes, $1 million. That's going to destroy the GPS satellites.
Oh, bummer. Hope they win.
Well, I mean, if Daryl's there, I'm sure everything's under control.
What's not here?
What could possibly go wrong?
Daryl, you're going to miss your podcast.
You really are. So, Daryl, you're going to want your podcast back.
All right. So, hey, you know what? We've got some feedback. Why don't we start with that? Let's just launch right into it.
We really have a GeoGearhead show to do. It may not look and feel like one, but it really is.
Well, it's not really a GeoGearHeads podcast. It is a Caching in the Northwest podcast that's basically a rebranding.
Yeah. As you can see, we just decided to slap a Caching in the Northwest Coup sticker over the GeoGearHeads logo.
Because that's how we roll in our artillery.
Ooh, we do have artillery.
Yeah.
Did someone say archive party? No, no one said archive party. Not how we're rolling here tonight.
Oh, come on. Chris, you never let me do anything fun.
I did once.
That's true. Well, not never. You never let me do anything fun twice.
Oh, you better believe it, because it's mostly illegal.
All right. Well, you know what? We do have some feedback from SimRebel. Mind if I jump into that one?
Please.
All right. So it came by email. Said it's feedback from episode 300.1.
That was the after show of episode 300.
Yeah, that's right. We don't call it a patron special. We call it an after show. All right. Anyways, SimRebel wrote, just getting around to watching show 300, or at least the other half, at the part where you were talking about archived caches. Speaking of archive parties, he said, I found a way to view archived caches on Project GC with their map, or with the map compare tool. So he sent the link, which is project-gc.com/tools/map compare, or, if you're using Project GC, you can just navigate to the map compare. Anyhow, he said, put in your profile name. You don't have to enter anything for compare with. Fill in cache location. I would fill in the county so it narrows down the search. Sounds like good advice.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, select none found and one found. Add the filter to show disabled/archived and hit filter.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I haven't had a chance to try that out. Maybe somebody in the chat room can try that out while we're doing this, and let's see what comes up. But it sounds like it should work.
That's genius.
It is. Evil genius.
Something like Dr. Muggle would do.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, show the arc. Yeah, I don't see how that wouldn't work.
It makes sense. I didn't know they had that function. Oh, I guess I should have known because I play around with Project GC enough, but I guess I've overlooked that function, which is very cool.
Is that a premium member only function? That would be something to know about.
Yeah, I don't know. How do you tell if you're a premium member? How do you tell what are premium member only functions?
If you're not a premium member, you can't get to them.
Right. But if you are a premium member, how do you tell what are premium member functions, Chris?
I would see, tools map compare. I can get to it.
So say, go make a fake free account. I don't know.
Somewhere in the, what does paid get me shows you everything.
Oh, okay. That sounds like a long list I'd have to read through.
Yeah, it's in there somewhere. I don't see it. Oh, membership. If you go to membership, home membership, it tells you if you're a member, you get to do all this.
Okay. Sorry, I was just moving my work phone from near my microphone so I don't get weird noises. Yeah. Sorry about that. Okay.
So Project GC, absolutely incredible website. We have had Magnus on multiple times here on GeoGearHeads. Look at some of the back episodes. You will not be disappointed with everything that he's come on to talk about.
Is Magnus going to come on to the real podcast, Caching in the Northwest?
Yes, we're working to get him on there.
All right.
He's promised he will be there.
Cool.
I think there's a guilt trip involved there.
Yes, I think so. I think it's more like a guilt cruise. We also have feedback from Acme Wild Cachers.
Ooh, I like that name.
Isn't that great? I for some reason, I just had a coyote running through my head.
Right? That sounds painful.
Not if you paint a tunnel on the side of your head first.
Okay.
Then it goes right through.
No, the Roadrunner goes through.
Roadrunner
does not.
Hmm.
Acme Wildcaster said, during episode 300, one contributor asked about getting a list of archived caches. This is possible with Project GC using Map Compare tool. Hey, we just figured that out. Anyone can view active and archived caches for an area together. If you're a paying member on Project GC, you can build a custom filter to show archived caches only.
Ooh.
Nice.
Ooh.
More incentive.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's,
cool.
Project GC. I don't have anything against GSAC. GSAC, I think, is a wonderful tool, but Project GC does everything for me that GSAC does.
There's still kind of two different tools. There's a lot of overlap.
There's a lot of overlap, yes.
But they are two distinct tools, and there are use cases for both. So
definitely,
that sounds like a topic for a different podcast.
Yeah, for me, I'm a Project GC kind of guy. now. Used to love GSAC.
I do.
Okay.
I love GSAC. So that is awesome. Thank you, Sim Rebel, and thank you, Acme Wild Cachers, for answering a question from the previous podcast. That is so awesome. I love it when the listeners do that.
I love it when a plane comes together.
I love it when a plane comes together.
Hmm.
It sounds like a very Northwest thing to say.
Yes.
Especially with Boeing.
There you go. Boing.
I've seen planes come together there.
That's cool. That would be neat to see.
That's fun.
Very cool. Well, you know what? We said we were going to talk about a lot of different topics, and we are. We're going to cover some different stuff. But I did ask on the interwebs before the podcast. We were curious what people's geocaching battle cry is. You know, is it found it? Is it hucklebuckle? Is it yeah, baby? Like what is it that you exclaim? And we're using that as a lead-in for what we're going to talk about tonight, which is sort of group dynamics when you're geocaching. So we want to get a little bit of a sense of that and talk about it with you guys. So some of the feedback we had from Limax, he said it's usually aha, but he also mostly caches alone. We heard from Chris. Do you know the caching name?
Yes, yeah. Fat bald guy.
Oh, is that who that is? Okay.
Yeah.
My apologies. I only know you by your caching name, Fat Ball Guy. Awesome. And so his battle cry is FTF. I thought that was funny.
We also heard from a guy.
Yeah.
Who we'll leave his name out of it. Maybe he wants to be anonymous.
Yeah, he probably should be.
Okay.
I just usually say, "Great job, Laura. Where was it?"
That's right. Also known to utter, "Dang it, I thought I searched there."
You did not just find it where I was looking, did you?
I've touched that thing 3 times. Are you kidding me?
And you know, of course, Mrs. Land Monkey, we know, actually finds all the caches for Team Land Monkey.
She finds half of them. When I'm filming, she finds the caches.
Sure. I have never seen you find a cache. I'm just saying. On all these videos you post, I have never seen you find a cache.
That's also not entirely true, but
okay.
Maybe
I haven't watched them all.
Yeah, more videos to watch.
Mm-hmm.
There's always more videos to watch. We also heard from Limax, who said it's really fun when I pull out my banjo and sing a serenade to the cache. Yes. Although that did get him tossed out of the Walmart parking lot.
See, that really surprised me. I'm thinking the people that go to our Walmart would love a banjo serenade.
Yeah, it's true.
So I obviously different Walmarts have different taste, but
there you go.
Yeah. Dormore jumped into the fray and said, "I've been known to do the dance of joy, but usually I just call out, got it." So,
I have witnessed the dance of joy.
Is it similar to Cousin Larry or Balky from Meepos?
It's not far off.
Okay. You remember that dance of joy?
I do.
Yes, that was fun.
I don't remember the dance of joy. I know exactly what show you're speaking of.
Oh yeah, they did the dance of joy on that.
Was it a regular bit, the dance of joy?
A couple times, yeah.
Okay. I loved it when they moved the piano. The entire episode was filmed in the staircase. But we go on.
Keep going. I have to check my message.
Yeah.
Eat, sleep, cache, repeat.
There's a great name.
Eat, sleep, cache, repeat. When do you stop? My kids call out spotto when they spot one.
Oh.
Spotto.
I like that. Spotto.
Spot on. Oh, no, spotto.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. We heard from Mr. Kazwa up in my neck of the woods here, who said failure tends to involve more swearing, with a hint of a suggestion that I wasn't really trying to find it anyway.
So channeled me in that one.
He says, unless it's found while another person is still discussing where it might be. In that case, it's a dull business-like. Got it. What else? He also said it's like an ooh, but sort of warbly and with a lilt to it, like you've just been lightly, pleasantly surprised.
Ooh.
Ooh. Well, I just changed the rating on the show. Sorry.
Those are all of our interpretations of ooh written out.
There you
Now,
go. Thanks.
Even
In
though
fact-
I've changed my name, I still have a bit of the old character still in me, as somebody has mentioned repeatedly lately. You know, when group caching, I will not say anything when I find it. Either remove it quietly and attempt to sign the log and return it, and then stand back and laugh. But usually, you know, somebody says, "Oh, you got it." Oh, yeah, yeah, I got it.
Now you know why I like to cache with the land monkeys.
Or alone, yes.
Well, I have a similar thing that to Chris of the Northwest that I do, but I do let people know I found it. And what I'll usually do is if I found it, I'll ask a question of, could you check the hint? And while they're looking up the hint, I'll say, does it say green lock and lock with moss covering? And then Mrs. Landmark will turn around and go, again.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly where it was.
Yeah.
How did you know?
Oh, dear.
No, actually, it says found embedded in the flesh of fellow cacher. Funny, you should mention that, actually.
Yes. We won't mention where the bison tube would be.
Yeah, no, I wasn't going there.
Well, you know, that makes an excellent segue, gentlemen.
Does it? To
Yes. To the
what could
next
that possibly be a segue to?
brought up by Beep. Mark was on the show last, and you know, he's got a unique sense of humor. We could blame it on being British, but I don't think that's fair to the entire country of Britain. He asks, "What's the weirdest animal you've hidden a geocache in?" Yes.
Okay.
The weirdest animal you've hidden a geocache in. Now, I can't say I've done that.
No,
I found geocaches in rubber ducks.
Yep.
I found them in large insects, spiders and such.
Right. Yep.
Of course, rubber versions of these.
Not taxidermied versions of these.
No, not taxidermied. I've found geocaches with fake fur wrapped around them.
Ooh,
In a
that's
hole,
different.
so you reach in to grab, and you know there's fur in there.
Yeah.
Wet Custer has found a cache in a pig, a live pig. Wet Custer, or perhaps I'm assuming a plastic one.
I have found a cache in a on the Utah Geo Tour. We found a cache that was in an old milk, you know, the old steel milk jugs or whatever they're called. What's the term for that? What are those things called?
Jugs, I believe.
Milk pail, whatever it is. But yeah, the big
milk pail. It's white.
the big metal milk pails or whatever they are, and it was turned on its side and had eyes and ears and legs welded to it, so it looked like a pig.
Nice.
And then it was painted pink and had a geocache in it. And I thought that was really, really clever.
There you go.
A couple of rats, says Wet
Yeah.
Coaster.
Oh yeah, yep.
Limax found one in a rubber glove,
Oh my.
in a hand. We found a severed human foot with a cache in it.
Really?
Well, of course, we found the bloated, festering head of my first victim.
Yes, a severed human head.
There you go. It's not an animal, is it?
It's not vegetable or mineral.
Okay. I suppose if you're going to use that system of classification. So when Mark did ask that on Twitter, what's the weirdest animal you've hidden a cache in? There was a response fairly quickly from UK Geocacher, and their answer was a live cat. So I'm figuring there's a story behind that, and I'm going to be kind of curious to hear what that story is one day.
I don't know. You know, the galaxy's on Orion's belt.
Why do Earthlings always think things of great importance must be large?
Now, I've seen a taxidermied cat turned into a flying drone, but that's different.
Yes.
Oh yeah, YouTube that. Go search YouTube for that. That's out there.
Yeah, a taxidermied cat.
Yeah.
It wasn't a fake cat.
I loved my cat so much.
Yeah.
I want it to fly with me all the time.
And I want the camera to come out of its mouth. Oh, let's see.
Awesome.
Limax says, I found one in a severed human foot as well, along with a sneaker.
So.
So,
Nice. Not creepy at all.
no, the cache was down in Portland. It was called Footlong.
Nice.
Yeah. It wasn't a real severed foot.
Okay. Hey, in the chat earlier when we were talking about your battle cries of success or failure, Wet Coaster had said in the chat that his cry is usually Skrillex, a group of different things that would be. Oh my goodness, there it is.
Oh yeah.
I think I've left Lion Monkey speechless.
So if you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, you really need to just skip to whatever time in the podcast this is right now and look at the video feed.
Look for cat drone.
Or Google cat drone to see what Wits End is displaying. Bart Jensen, who turned dead cat into.
Here, we'll pull it up for the people that are doing it home.
Man who turned his dead cat into a drone now plans to create a cow helicopter.
And I'll just note that this is from the UK. So, I mean, I think we're following a theme here. But yes, there is the cat drone.
All right. Well,
his pet cat was named Orville, by the way.
Cat Chicken Northwest.
Maybe he'll be a guest on GeoGearHeads someday.
Perhaps.
Who knows?
Well, we've got his name. We can reach out to him. Okay. Anyways,
we'll have Mark from OBeep reach out to him.
Yeah.
So Wet Coaster had said, I'm going to come back to that one in a minute. Wet Coaster had said that his cry is usually Skrillex, which is like when you put, curse words, but not actually write the curse words. Blackberries. So,
oh yes,
blackberries is his usual cry. Anyways, okay. So all I was going to add to the thing about having Mark reach out to this cat drone person is, wouldn't that make a good topic for What's Up Internet?
Oh, there you go.
What can you make drones out of?
Out of your pets, your deceased pets.
Your deceased pet.
Yeah. Or, what else can you make drones out of? But that would be definitely high up on the list of curious things to make drones out of. So Scott and Mark, if you guys are listening, I would like a future episode of What's Up Internet to feature cat drones.
No. Cat drones.
Perfect timing as I had a mouthful of liquid. That was awesome.
Let's see. White Coaster says, finally a good use for a cat. No. Happy Hodag says, I found a matchstick container in one of those plastic snakes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I found a couple of plastic snakes as well. I'd forgotten about that.
Always fun.
Now, have you found birds, owls and such in trees with a cache container in them?
Oh, little fake ones, yeah.
Trying to think what other animals.
It's a cache near here with a alien in it.
That's true. There's an alien head, a disembodied alien head.
There's a whole UFO up by Spokane. Flying saucer, I should say. Anyways,
I found a couple of real snakes, says Limax. I found a couple of real wasps looking for a cache.
Yeah.
I decided I was done caching that day.
Yeah.
That's it.
Say, Land Monkey got stung on our hike in July.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I got stung about a month after that. I don't like finding wasps when I'm caching. Although this time of year, I like finding them because they're sleeping and I can kill them.
Yes.
Me no likey the wasps.
Limax says, there's one that used to be called monkey brains that I found, and yes.
Nice.
I found one in a gnome.
Okay.
Morning. Let's see. G-Nice found a mourning dove in North Dakota. And White Coaster says you should be able to fit a bison tube in a slug.
I have found a geocache with a fake slug with a,
I found slugs inside the container. The container no longer sealed, and you open it up and it's like there are 6 slugs on the log.
Caching in the Northwest.
Exactly. You know what? I found this one. That's good enough.
There you go. All right. Hey, what else do we want to talk about with respect to group caching dynamics? What kind of things happen when you get a group of people together and you're going to go geocaching? I mean, let's skip out the whole planning part per se.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't plan anything.
Where are we going to go? What are we going to do? Let's just assume you're on the trail and you're geocaching.
The puppets for that?
Sure. Hold on.
What are we going to go? Where are we going to go? What are we going to do? Because that was your puppet voice. It didn't slip by me.
Okay. Is that really a puppet voice?
I don't know. Isn't that the voice you use for your puppet?
No, I just use my normal voice for the puppet because it's a land monkey.
Okay.
See?
Sorry, folks, if you're used to a serious podcast, you're not.
Not happening here
tonight.
Yeah. You shouldn't push people in the lake. There's a group caching dynamic from Wet Coaster.
Oh,
that's good or should not? I missed that.
You should not.
Oh, all right.
So you need to apologize to Doramore, Land Monkey.
I will just clarify that I saved her life from drowning in the lake. I didn't actually push her in.
Sure.
You can believe what you
take credit for one without taking credit for the other.
How she ended up in the lake in the first place. Anyways.
So okay, we're going out we're going out caching as a group.
Yes.
It could be an organic group. We met at an event and hey, let's go get this cache.
An organic group, you grew them without herbicides and pesticides.
Yes, well, free range.
Free range.
Free range cachers.
Or it could be a prearranged group. Hey, we're going to go out and with the intent of, doing this one cache or doing 1,000 caches.
It's prearranged, free range, and deranged.
If any kind of range you want. We're not picky.
Home on the range?
Exactly.
I like that. Prearranged, free range, and deranged.
And deranged, yeah. So you have your deranged group of cachers.
Yes, exactly. So, one of the things that, in fact, Wits End and I have done a couple of times is there have been some tough puzzle caches in the area. A group of us get together either over social media, email, what have you, and start working on solutions. Hey, have you tried this? Have you tried this? I got a little bit here. Come up with it. And then, hey, we've got it. Let's all go out and make the find together. So that's always fun.
Yay, team.
Yay, team. And then Land Monkey at the Auburn geocaching event we were just at.
I pushed Chris in a lake and took the cache. Oh,
FTF.
sorry. Go on.
No, it's okay.
His socks still haven't dried out. He squishes when he walks.
That's normal.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it is? Okay, then I feel better. I was getting a little worried.
All right, squish what?
So we went to a Friday night event, and afterwards was the night cache. Was it 10 steps? It was a kind of a multi.
Oh, right. Like how many stages? Sorry, I thought you meant like from where we were eating. Like there's more than 10 steps, man.
He walked a long way.
Yes, it was about 8 or 10 stages. Yeah, it was quite the thing.
And so that, kind of an organic group there. Yes, we all knew we were going to go out and do it, but we broke up into, smaller teams and set about. So it was a field puzzle. You're going to find a clue that's going to get you to the next stage.
Yeah, that was a different type of night cache. I had not done a night cache like that before. It was maybe for those who did not have an opportunity to experience that or have not. I think it's still there, right? Like it wasn't just for the event.
No, it couldn't be just for the event. So it has to be there for a while.
Right. So it was an urban night cache. And instead of finding reflective tacks and following them like most night caches that we're all familiar with, because it was urban, you would have a first set of coordinates and a hint. And so you'd go to the first set of coordinates, which was basically a storefront, and somewhere in that storefront were coordinates, either displayed or written or somehow you find it. And that would give you the coordinates for the next stage. And you would have a hint for the next stage. But the hint was more just about like which store it was at, and it wasn't about where to look. Because there was a real, should I spoil any of it, or like the types of...
Well, what do you want to spoil? Like so you would go into a storefront and they would have a multitude of posters.
Right.
One of those posters are not like the others.
One of the things that wasn't the same?
Yes.
It's time to play our game.
Even though it was a very professional looking poster, it had coordinates on it in some way. So,
or there was some sort of electronic display subtly.
There were several electronic displays.
Yeah. So it was really neat. So then those would give you the coordinates, and you'd keep moving around until you finally got the final coordinates and wandered off to go find the cache.
Cool.
So yeah, it was a neat idea. So that was different. And again, as you're saying, group dynamic worked fairly well. Everybody broke into, as you call them, organic groups. One must be careful how one says that. And wandered around the city streets in gangs. What could possibly go wrong?
You have to be careful how you say that too.
I think there was only one dance off.
Oh, was there?
Time, so yeah.
Okay. And it was interesting because in every group, at least in our group, a lot of different people, it's not like we were taking turns to find, because everybody's searching, but different people would find, because different people would look at either different heights or different corners, or in different ways. So it was neat. That worked out well. I guess what that leads me to another group caching dynamic, and that's the finding of caches. So let's say you're going out on a trail for the day, and there's a number of caches along the trail. So let's, cast our minds back to the Monte Cristo hike. Big group hike.
I'm there.
Okay, are you there? Okay. Jim, you with me?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, guys. Wandering along the trail as a large group, but you start to spread out a little bit. People hike at different speeds, etc. So one of the things in a group caching dynamic is thinking about the pace, and the people up in front have, quote unquote, an advantage in finding the caches. If you're the first one there, do you wait for everybody else to catch up, or do you start looking? What's the approach? I
tend to wait a bit. Okay, maybe we get 4, 5, 6 people together. That's enough. We start looking. It all depends. How's that?
That's always the cop-out answer.
Yeah, no kidding. So there's got to be like a sort of a rule of courtesy that one should apply when group caching.
So if it's a special find for someone, say during that hike, somebody's going to get 2,500 finds. Hey, my next one's 25. Yeah, we're going to wait for that person. I don't care if you're in the back. We'll wait half an hour for you to get up here to make your 25th find, 2,500th find. No,
I'm not waiting half an hour.
Okay. I wouldn't
wait half an hour.
Well, okay.
I would slow down my pace then, so I don't have to wait for half an hour at the cache site.
There you go. But what I'm saying is that's an important find. They need to find it.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. If it's an important find, they finish a Jasmer grid, or this meets
some sort of milestone.
Exactly. But yeah, you wait for that person.
But what if it isn't? What if it's cache? I don't know. I'm thinking random numbers, but if it's not a significant cache for anybody in the group.
7.
Yeah, sure.
No, would I wait half an hour? Definitely not. But when you're hiking in a group, you've got to make sure that group, you can see front to back, and the whole group stays together. No one's hurt. No one's lost.
Right. So there's a safety aspect.
There's a safety aspect. I will say, when we get more than 2 or 3 people looking for a cache, I will not go right to ground zero, right? There's already 2 or 3 people there. I'm going to fan out a few feet from ground zero, a meter or 2. Would that help?
Thank you.
And typically I'm not finding the cache, right? But I'm eliminating spots where it could be. It's like, well, maybe their GPS is off, maybe mine's off. This looks like a possible area. I'm going to look here. I'm not going to go step over your shoulders, push you down and say, hey, I wanted to look under that bush before you did.
Oh, okay. So that's not what you do.
No, that's what you do. You put people into the water so you can get
check out of the way. My cache. No.
So, in group events like that, I rarely find the cache because oh yeah, they're at ground zero. They're going to find it. But, I've done that and that's proven to be successful at times where everybody's there. It was a first to find a couple of times, the cache coordinates were slightly off. And I think we had a hider around here who decided to do that because it made it more difficult to find.
Yeah.
So, let's I'm going to go look over here. Oh, look, there it actually is. So that's just me though. I don't, you look there and you go, oh, wait, Land Monkey, did you find it exactly where I was just standing and looking? Yeah, I missed it. That does happen.
Yeah, that happens to everybody. That's fair. But so yeah, I guess I was kind of curious about what we feel like the polite and proper group approach is when you're out there and on a trail, multiple caches along the trail. Now, if you just happen to be on a lucky streak and you keep finding them, so you found like 2 or 3 in a row now, as you get to the next ground zero, you just sort of back off and let somebody else get in there first?
I do. I try to share the joy, but
yeah,
doesn't mean you have to.
I found when we did the Monte Cristo trail, I'd found a couple, and I thought, okay, well, I'm going to hang back. And I know there was one point where there was one that was off on the it's on the right-hand side of the trail, down in some stumps or something like that. And I had just stayed up on the trail, and everybody was sort of fanning out and looking. Nobody was finding anything. So eventually I thought, well, it's been like 5 minutes. Nobody's found it. I'm going to go look. So there you go.
Yeah, give them a chance.
I gave you a head start.
That's all you get.
Fair enough.
Oh, dear. That's funny.
Let's see. Limax says, I fell very far behind my group. A couple waited for me, and I told them, go on ahead. And I turned around.
Oh, did you tell people you were turning around?
We hope so.
Well, yeah. I mean, and I get it. If it, for whatever reason, you're physically not feeling up to it, and it's, this one isn't for me, that's fair.
Right.
Yeah. But I would definitely let people know that I'm done. I'm heading back, because otherwise people are going to think, where's Limax?
Exactly. Well, we left them on the trail. Good luck. IHAM says having someone in the group to check updates for the cache page can be helpful.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
That can be an important role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, when you find, if you're doing a multi-cache, I'm going to go back to this 10-stage multi we did.
Sure.
I found it very helpful that one person would find the coordinates, read them out, and another person would enter them into the smartphone.
Sure.
That double check rather than saying, okay, 2, 1, 2, 2. Yeah, I go, okay, 126, 16. Yeah, and 3. It flowed a little better to say, hey, the next cache is at 122, 16, 350. Okay, got it.
Got it. Yeah.
So, having one person read the coordinates out and 1 or 2 putting them in the GPSR, be that a smartphone or physical.
Cool. All right, I got a different question now on group caching dynamics. Do you sign like a group name, or does everybody sign and or stamp the log individually?
Part of it depends on the size of the log.
And the size of the group.
Yeah.
4 people, sign the log. You can individually sign it. 4 or more, 5 or more.
Dormore, what?
Door or more gets a group name.
Okay.
No, 5 or more get a group name. There. I just set a rule.
Wow. The threshold is 5. The number is 5. The number of counting shall be 5.
Yes. 4 shall not be the number unless thou thence proceeds to 5.
Okay.
What about 6?
6 is right out.
Wow. That was clear.
So, you know, it could be something simple for a caching name. You could make a name or a word out of the first initials of your geocaching name of the group.
Yeah.
Okay.
It could be, you know, oh, we're in Auburn today, so we're the Auburn caching crew.
Okay.
Right.
Did you name your team after a forest rodent?
Yes.
Okay.
Or Greek god.
US's?
I don't know who would do that, but you could.
Nice.
What kind of forest rodent?
I don't know.
No, but you know, Jim, I'm going to suggest that you may want to watch your back because it looks like there's something coming in on the video behind you there.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know how you've done that, but that's brilliant.
Oh,
so again, for those listening to the audio and not looking at the video, Wits End has somehow managed to get the cat drone in his video feed behind him. So once again, the video graphical genius of Wits End is at play.
don't grab the cat.
Don't grab the cat.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Mom always said, don't grab the cat in the house. No, that's not what she said at all.
Limax says we're group FLLRDBRB. Flirtibird. Yeah, you could do that. You know, and you know what? Help the cache owner when you do that and sign as a group. In your log, say, "Hey, I signed the cache as group Flirtibird." You know, or group forest animal.
Make some reference to it. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Happy Hodog said, for Power Trails, I've done the group name. Then we went for other caches and signed our own name. So yeah, if you break up or, you know, the full group isn't together anymore.
Breaking up hard to do.
It is. I'm sorry. It's just messing with me with this cat drone thing. You know? But yeah, of course, if you're not with the full group anymore, you wouldn't use the group name just to make it clear that that's the way you're rolling. In fact, so we've got a caching group of friends up here who often go out together, and we use the name Team Epic. In fact, there's a couple of the group who actually have Team Epic stamps that are used depending on where we're at. And what we'll do is exactly that. Is in our logs we'll just say which members of Team Epic were on that particular hike, because we're not always all together. So yeah.
Wait a minute. Wait, you can't be part of the team. You can't sign Team Epic if the entire team isn't there.
Yeah, you can't. You just say which team members were there. That way you can use a stamp.
Oh, well, if you have a stamp.
Yeah.
I got to get a stamp made.
How about stickers?
You know who has You know who has a cool stamp, and I want to get one like that, is Rambudo. I don't know if he listens to this podcast, but if you listen to this podcast, which you should, Rambudo, and you should really listen to Caching in the Northwest. But anyways, we love your stamp, and Mrs. Land Monkey did ask him where he got his stamp from, so we're probably going to get one like that. And the reason it's cool is that it's one of the small round ones, so it's a nice small size, but it also has the ability to set the date. So it's not just the stamp of the name, it's the name and the date. So that's awesome, because we have a stamp for Land Monkeys, but it doesn't have a date thing on it, so you still have to handwrite the date, which then kind of defeats the purpose of having.
How archaic.
I know, right?
He just gets a stamp made for every day of the year.
What is this, the 1970s?
Wet Coaster says, try to keep the name for the group suitable for all ages. Just family friendly. I'm sorry.
There you go. So make it something that you'd be allowed to put on a personalized license plate?
Yes, exactly. I don't know. No, maybe not. I've seen some things there that I don't agree with.
A little dodgy.
Little 40s, little Chevys.
You're welcome for that softball.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think? You think we've beaten this one to death, or?
I think we've beaten a cat drone to death. Yes.
Yes. We've beaten it to the point where it can be a drone. Okay.
We've droned on and on about the cat.
We have. But the cat is worth droning on and on about. All right. So my question remains then towards the tail end, if we're going to wrap it up, do we actually clean up here before we leave? Or do we just leave this place in a mess?
At least pick up our food wrappers and our beer bottles.
Okay.
Well, and our excess cat drones.
Wouldn't Daryl want the beer cans and bottles so that he can get the return?
Oh, yeah, it's 10 cents in Michigan.
Oh, there you go.
So we'll leave the empties.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That works.
Yeah. But you know what?
What?
Even though Daryl's not here tonight, he does work hard in scheduling upcoming shows.
I've heard that.
Yeah. He's also foolish and leaves the key to his podcast under the mat.
Yeah, well, I've heard that too. We have proof of that.
Yeah, exactly. Here we are.
But if you'd like to tune in another time for a much more normal, if there is such a thing as normal, GeoGearHeads, normal is just a setting on the dryer. Next week is October 12th, isn't it? It's a week from today. That's GeoGearHeads episode 302. That's Trapes. October 19th, GGH 303. That's Road Caching 14, or XIV, if you're pronouncing Roman numerals incorrectly. October 26th, GeoGearHeads episode 304 is geocaching.com guidelines for, or IV if it's a paramedic geocacher.
I was going to say guidelines for what?
Yeah.
The new guideline updates.
Or maybe it's guidelines if.
Guidelines.
Maybe they're just intravenous guidelines.
I think that's what it is.
They must be.
I think there's a lot of holes in it. It's a guideline sieve.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Got it. And that'll take us through the end of the baseball postseason, roughly, until we reach November 2nd, when GeoGearHeads episode 305, Randomize Lexi. No.
I don't know what happened to Lexi.
We're going to random it. No, that's what, 5062? Is that what that is? LXII in,
I would have said 62.
In Romaine numerals.
In ramen numerals.
Yeah.
Romulan numerals?
Oh.
I don't know what Romulan numerals. Now I got to go look. Hey, folks, thanks for listening tonight. And we ask that you check the Cachemaniacs website at cachemaniacs.com for more on the GeoGearHeads, including show notes from this and all our episodes. We love hearing from our listeners. So leave us feedback by emailing geogearheads at cachemaniacs.com or through the many channels of social media. Your support helps keep the Cachemaniac shows coming. Please consider becoming a patron through the link on our website to support the Cachemaniac shows. GeoGearHeads is produced by Chris Umfenauer and Daryl Wattenberg. The show is copyright 2017 by Daryl Wattenberg, all rights reserved.